Bardowski, founder at Million Dollar Party Girl, and this is episode 65 of Social Girl Live. Tonight we're talking about Facebook parties, one of my favorite subjects, because so many direct sellers are holding Facebook parties and are looking, of course, to maximize sales, bookings, and sponsoring leads. So tonight we're going to be talking about the number one biggest, huge hostess coaching mistake. Yes, I've got my speech bubble sign for you. So feel free to share this and pass it on with anyone that you know is holding Facebook parties and is maybe struggling to get those awesome results, right, that we all want to get. And contrary to popular opinion, it's actually what happens before the party, what you do before the party that impacts the results of the party more than anything else. So let's get right to it. What is the biggest hostess coaching mistake? And it is creating the events before the hostess has sent personal invitations. Yes, I said personal invitations. And so we know that so many times if a hostess is depending on the event to invite people, it can go wrong really quickly. And that can discourage the hostess and really encourage her to cancel or just check out from the party, right? When you don't get that momentum going early on, it is very discouraging for the hostess. And so that's why you don't want to make the mistake of creating the events before you have coached your hostess on who and how to invite. And the secret is personal invitations. And yes, I get a lot of pushback from this, even in my VIP group. My VIP members say, really? We have to do that takes work. And I'm like, yeah, it does. But guess what? It is work that pays off. And our members that are doing personal invitations are seeing their Facebook party sales literally double. Some of them have had their best online parties ever. They're connecting with their ideal client. They're getting bookings. They're getting sponsoring leads. And so why? Because they've coached the hostess who and how to invite. And they are then making sure that their ideal client is in the room, in the party room, when it is time for party time. This is a step that you cannot skip. And I know there's other camps out there. There's other thoughts. And, this is my thought. So you guys have to do what's going to work for you. I know some people say that you can just automate hostess coaching and send your hostess video. You're good. I'm like, no, don't do that. If somebody sent me a video if I booked a party from somebody and they sent me a video and it was like, here, I'm going to send you a video the same video that they sent to everybody else. Seriously, I would cancel my party just because of that. This is your one chance to really build that strong relationship with your hostess, who, by the way, is most likely to be your biggest sponsoring lead. Every single hostess should be on your sponsoring lead list. And so this is your one chance to get that relationship going. What do you want to do? The second you start to create that event, and I know some of you are now doing parties in groups, don't do it. You know that hostess and maybe even the guests are going to start adding people, right? As soon as you create that event, you have then opened the door to totally skip that personal invite process. So I actually would not even set up the event until my hostess had RSVPs. And so that's why my parties were so successful, because by the time I set up the event, my hostess already had 7, 8, sometimes 10 people that said, yes, I want to go to this party, but not just random Facebook friends, but people that I coached her who to invite. So they would be most likely to be excited to be there. And so then as soon as we created the event, she then sent that direct link to the event, because I always use my business page, easy for people to join. And literally within like an hour, we had those 10 people in the party room, meaning in the event. Again, increasing that engagement, increasing that interaction. What do you want to specifically say to your hostess? And here is just a simple script. If you're following my Facebook party book, and you can get it on Amazon. The ebook is $5.97, I think. Yeah. So, and it's literally, it tells you step by step. If you are following that, you already, have some great words to say. I actually just updated the book to include an example of an invitation that you can create on Canva, because Red Stamp went away this year. So we've already updated the book. I do coach my hostess to invite by texting versus Facebook Messenger. Now, I know we all use Facebook Messenger all the time, right? But here's the thing, when it comes to inviting people, and this is something your hostess might not know. Again, you want to share best practices. Always ask yourself, what is this experience going to be like for my customer? What is the customer journey as they are getting invited to the party, as they're coming into the party? So what you might think is a great idea might not necessarily be the best experience for your customer. So before you do anything, I want to put yourself in your customer's shoes. And the reason I don't encourage my hostess to use Facebook Messenger is because, and again, many times they just don't know, right? What do people do? They copy paste. They're like, okay, I'll invite the people you told me to invite, copy paste, copy paste, copy paste. And that actually sets off a bunch of warning bells in Facebook's, back bot office that somebody is spamming their friends. And so you could actually land your hostess in Facebook jail without realizing it. So texting is the safest way, because yes, you can copy paste text messages, right? Without any repercussions. It's still personal, it's still one-on-one, but you don't have to worry about any repercussions like you do when that's happening on Facebook. So again, think about it from the customer perspective. Your hostess probably doesn't even know what Facebook jail is. She's done indirect sales, right? But you tell her, okay, copy paste your, list of 10 people and invite them. And all of a sudden Facebook is blocking her from messaging people because they think she's spamming them. So texting is the safest route. It's easy for your hostess because, again, she can copy paste. And, a big part of my strategy is to coach the hostess to only invite people she knows well enough that she'd invite them to her home. Again, that's how you avoid being flagged as a spammer where she's inviting her 200 Facebook friends. So guess what? If you encourage her to text people, if she has people's phone number in her phone, right? That's like your top list. That's our girl squad. So that's why the party's going to be better, because she's actually inviting people that she's got a phone number for. So, again, there's a lot of thought that goes into this. And then, again, have her make that top list. Less is more. It's the opposite of what we coach for home parties. Home parties, we're always saying, over invite, we'll find room, right? Because, odds are not everybody's going to show up to someone's house. But a Facebook party, it's honestly just too easy for somebody to just start, adding all their hundreds of Facebook friends. So that's why this is something that you cannot skip. It is a important best practice to avoid you and your hostess both actually being perceived as spamming people and keeping both of you out of Facebook jail. So again, we're talking about the biggest hostess coaching mistake, and that is skipping this entire process of who and how to invite and really teaching your hostess those best practices. That sets up, honestly, that sets up the success of the entire party from the moment you then open the doors, meaning then you create the event. It's literally like the people are waiting outside the door and you are now opening the doors and saying, come on in, right? Isn't that how you want your parties to be? Not just creating these events and then hoping and wishing somebody sees a notification that, you know, for a Facebook friend they barely knew in high school, right? And that's why the party tanks really, really quickly. Here's really simple verbiage. You know, keep it simple for your hostess. And I actually start with a rhetorical question. And the question is that I coach my hostess to say is, you know, let's say your party is next Tuesday. Then a simple verbiage for your hostess is to text your friends and say, what are you doing next Tuesday? Right? It's kind of like assuming that they're going to come. So you're inviting them without really asking them if they're yes or no. It's kind of like, of course you want to come to this. What are you doing next Tuesday? I've fallen in love with, fill in the blank with your product, whatever that might be. I've fallen in love with the most amazing tote bags, and I know you will too. I'd love for you to come to my party. My consultant is going to be teaching some awesome organizing tips for summer. So you end with the problem. You teach your hostess how to incorporate the problem that you solve into that invitation. And that helps you get those people in the room that really, again, they're your ideal client. They're coming to that party because they're like, oh gosh, I really need to organize my house this summer. The kids are going to be home. It's going to be crazy. I must go to this party and buy everything this consultant has. So again, fill in the blank with your product, but it's simple, it's authentic, right? What are you doing next Tuesday? I have fallen in love with Beauty Society, and I know you will too. My consultant is teaching some amazing skincare tips to help us both look younger. Right? You end with that problem that you solve. That's how you get people excited to come to the party. And then you're, you know, again, working with your hostess to say, hey, how are those invitations going? How many people have responded? And then she's getting excited. She's like, oh yeah, you know, I've got 2, I've got 3, I've got 8. And so then you create the event, and then she can easily just send the link to the event. She's already got the RSVPs in her phone. So this is so simple. Now she can just copy paste that link to the event to people that have already said yes. Okay, it's go time. And then coach her to say, and I do recommend that you go live that first day, that you open the doors to welcome everybody into the party. So teach her to say, you know, my consultant is going to be going live tonight. And she said, if we've got 10 going, she's doing the first prize drawing. It's like, go. And literally the doors open and everybody comes in the room. You know, it's not even the first day. It's like within the first hour, everybody's there. And more importantly, they're excited to be there because you have done the coaching to get the right people in the room and sent those personal invites. All right. Thanks, everyone. Have a great night. Bye.